Hi, my name is Delaney Kodas, and today I will be speaking about the influence of media in political campaigning on the voter. First, who is the media? Media is almost anything. It is print, photos, videos, newspapers, books, radios, magazines, blogs, and websites. Media is everywhere in our society. In the media, there are secret messages. No, I'm not talking about any government codes or weird stuff. Media has underlying messages that are used to persuade, sell, and gain your vote, especially in political campaigning. The media is used by people, brands, political parties, and anyone who wants you to see the situation from their point of view. This is why media has gotten even trickier for voters than before. Media is intended to be informative. Although the media is intended to be informative, we have come to the age of tweeting and Instagramming, like these are actual physical actions. In our nation today, people are more concerned with a new meme about Donald Trump than his stance on environmental issues and subjects that are bigger than if he got a spray tan or not. In the beginning, media was meant to be used as an informative system that would keep people safe. It was used to create a middle class of people who could become educated by reading books in order to fight against the man, but now that's not the case. Because we are surrounded by media all the time, it is hard to find credible and reliable sources that aren't too far on one side. It is even harder to go to the media without getting distracted from the task you are trying to complete. In this hot topic, I will discuss why we need to be active participants in the media so that we can discern what side we need to be on for the greater good of our country. Public opinion depends on knowledge about what is going on in the country and in the world. Through newspapers, books, magazines, and sound recordings, the mass media has been influencing public opinion for more than 500 years. Technology has made it easier to access the messages from the mass media. However, just as media can influence the public to make an educated decision, these public leaders may only report on part of the issue. This impacts the way people understand certain issues and propels them to make uneducated decisions about these topics. This is why we need to spend time in the media to get the whole story, not just one side. For example, throughout the election, people were editing videos of Trump to make him look worse than he actually was. This not only was partially incorrect, but it caused major distress on the people of the country. Next, the media provides the public with mostly knowledge. The media, surprisingly, has the ability to inform the public. Media is more than just Snapchat, Cosmo, and Home Goods. The media should be used to inform the public, but again, a reader has to be paying attention to what media they are using because they could get two different stories. For example, this quote says, "It is clear that President Barack Obama is serious about cementing his climate legacy, but until he takes steps to ensure the vast majority of fossil fuels remain in the ground, his legacy is as vulnerable as an Arctic sheet." This is from Allie Leonard, Executive Director of Greenpeace, USA. To the contrary, another quote says, "Barack Obama is destined to go down as the greatest climate change fighting president in history." This is from Ed Chin, National Communications Director for the National Resources Defense Council. These two quotes are very different, and they both imply totally different points of view. To participate in the media successfully, the reader has to dig deeper than one of these articles to get both sides and articulate an opinion. Nonetheless, media makes national politics possible. Without mass media, candidates would only be able to run on the local level where they could communicate personally with their electorate. Media makes it possible for voters to familiarize themselves with candidates and platforms even when they are far away. For example, everyone who uses Facebook, Twitter, or reads an online or print newspaper could see the idiots Trump and Hillary made out of themselves to gain the votes of different demographics. They used media like Twitter, interviews, press conferences, and more to display that they could be a president for the whole country. Some did better than others, in my opinion. Next, media and politics. All hell breaks loose. As seen in the last year of political campaigning, media tries to make it easier on the public to form an opinion of a candidate and to make a vote. Even though this year was a different story. In the media, people were verbally attacked and basically lit on fire for the whole country to watch. This was entertaining, but it still did not set the country to rest. The media was used by both parties in order to expose and ruin other candidates' campaigns. It was a dirty fight, but media was definitely a factor in the reasoning Trump won. Media institutions select what news to report and what issues to cover. This is very important because the media can affect what the public sees as important. When campaigning, politicians spend large quantities of money on media to reach voters, concentrating on voters who are undecided. Politicians may use television commercials, advertisements, or mailings to point out negative qualities in their opponents while praising their own virtues. Often there are more potential news stories available to the media than time or space to devote them, so the media chooses the stories that are most important and the most sensational for the public to hear, like when Trump confessed to sexually assaulting women because he is famous. This shaped the way many women would vote, at least partially, because of this story, the public found it the most interesting, and it caused the most ratings or readership to rise for the media outlet. Those in the media use angles and commentary to sway public opinion in favor of their stance on the issues. So why do we need to participate? We cannot be a passive audience that allows media to be injected into our brains. We must be active listeners, contributors, and participants in order to better the understanding of what's going on in our world. Without media, we would never know about natural disasters that happen a few states away or tsunamis that occur on the opposite side of the world. Media can be used for good, but we have to be fully aware that media can manipulate us. If we are not an active audience, we will not be a successful member of society. If we use media to our advantage, we can make a two-way communication system with legislation, foreign nations, and businesses that will grow and expand our country. Finally, for the real point, because the United States is a democratic government and the people vote to elect leaders and change laws based on the majority, voters rely on the mass media to assist in developing an opinion to determine a candidate to vote for. The media majorly influences politics. Unless we are active participants in the media, we will not know who to vote for and why. Thank you.